The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and the guests, and do not necessarily reflect the views of any affiliated individuals, organizations, or sponsors. The content is provided for entertainment and informational purposes only, and should not be taken as professional advice. While we strive for accuracy, we make no representation or warranties about the completeness, reliability, or accuracy of the information discussed. Listeners are encouraged to verify facts and form their own opinions. The host and producers are not responsible for any errors, omissions, or outcomes related to the use of this content. By listening, you agree that the host and the production team will not be held liable for any actions you take or decisions you make based on the information presented. Thank you.
Fuck all out, man. Let's look at some of the best costumes for Halloween in 2025. Let's go down the timeline. Shout out to G Herbo and his crew, being Scooby-Doo and all that good stuff. He was Shaggy. Kids looking all cute. His old lady was Velma. I know what time they had. Velma couldn't find her glasses. Yeah. I don't know who. Oh, okay. Young VA. Young MA, excuse me. Dressed up as Jim Jones. Okay, at first, I didn't even know who that was at first. I was like, damn, what the fuck is that? The fuck is that? Ice Spice is Sailor Moon. Okay, a little cheek action going on. Gotta love the cheeks. I love the boots. She was out there in Japan pandering. Okay, Ice Spice. Go ahead now. You fine now. Go ahead now. Yeah, I knew you was going to bend over. You couldn't wait. Couldn't wait to bend it over. Show the world. Yeah, man. Go ahead, girl. Doja Cat as a mime. So she ain't saying shit. La Mime Medusa. Okay. She might not be saying shit, but that Gap speaking like a motherfucker, ain't it? That Gap talking to me. What's happening? And I ain't talking about the restaurant. Okay. Yeah, cover it up. Do something. That motherfucker was yelling, wasn't it? That motherfucker was, bonjour. What's going on? Oui, mi amor. I don't know. I'm trying to find some French words to say. Comment allez-vous? Bonjour. That Gap was talking to me. All right, moving right along, man. Who else has some good costumes? All right, I had more. I had more. I got more for y'all. Don't worry. Don't worry. How about Coming to America? Jonathan Majors and Megan Good looking very, very good. Very, very. Yes. Yes. Very good. Very well played. Gotta love them as a couple, man. They make a beautiful couple. Right. Put them in a movie together. I want to see a Mr. and Mrs. Smith with them two. I want to see an action movie with Jonathan Majors and Megan Good. ASAP. And shout out to the original Dream Team, Eddie Murphy, Iman, and Michael Jackson. Yes, sir. Put together by John Singleton. Do you remember the time? Anyway, who else, man? I put Heidi Klum on the damn cover, so I guess I got to talk about her. So, let's see. Who else has some of the best Halloween costumes? Who the hell dressed up as Aunt Gladys? Folks is wilding. Who the fuck is dressing up as Aunt Gladys? Halloween 2025. All right, let's check out Heidi Klum. And then we'll move on from Halloween. Check out Heidi. Heidi Klum and her husband Tom Cowlitz dressed up as Medusa and a soldier that Medusa done caught in his grips. Heidi Klum never ceased to disappoint when it comes to showing out for Halloween. And man, oh man, she went above and beyond. As usual. Per usual. Shout out to Heidi Klum and her husband. Like, all right, babe, what we gonna be next year? I don't know how they gonna top that. Tom Cowlitz. Let's hear from Heidi about.
I exactly wanted to be just like that. I wanted to be super scary, and I think we nailed it.
Okay, why Medusa and then you turn the story?
Why not? Why not to be Medusa? You know, Medusa is such a mystical creature that is super scary. You know, if you haven't seen the movie, you should watch the original movie. It's really cool.
And it's a
Look at the-
challenge,
look
you know,
at the
it's a
snakes
challenge
moving
to
in her
make
hair.
it really amazing.
Yeah.
And we love a challenge.
Yeah, love a challenge. Because a lot of people have done Medusa, and I wanted to really
Outdo them all.
step it up.
Yeah.
Since you guys met in
She
2018,
definitely is.
these types of costumes.
Yeah, she has the partner for it. Hey, I'm sitting in makeup. I started at the same time today. We started at noon, so here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you hope that happens tonight?
That you still think I'm hot?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm hoping for, you know.
I don't know. Can you go home with and bang your wife after she been out looking like this? Be honest now. You going home and knocking this off? I don't know. She talking about, do you still think I'm hot? You gonna have to take off that wig, baby. Matter of fact, take off the wig and the teeth, and we might be all right. Take off the wig, the teeth, and maybe, the mask on your head. I might be able to do something depending on how that body feel, long as it's kind of moist at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? We can get over all that snake. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit, man. Terrible. All right, man. Terrible. We can just move right along, man. Halloween 2025, man. Congratulations to all those that participated, man. They went all out. Y'all went all out this year, man. See all the stars at Heidi Klum's party. Okay, we'll go down the list. Fuck it. Real quick. This is Lainey Klum. I don't even know who that is. I guess her daughter or something. Hold on, man. Y'all trying to get y'all ads off. Okay, the whole crew. I don't know who none of these folks are. Ice-T showed up as the Butcher. Coco Jones showed up as Coco Jones. Hold on. Yeah, Coco Jones showed up as Coco Jones on their ass. Shout out Questlove. Tamron Hall. Okay. Henry Samuel was Blade. That's who that was. Bill. Yeah. This nigga Bill wild out. I don't know what the fuck. The fuck you got going on, Bill? I think this is Heidi Klum's brother-in-law. I don't know. I might be assuming, but don't they got the same last name? Yeah, Tom Cowlitz. And this is the other motherfucker. Bill, you wild out with that. All right. Enough of this. Enough of this. Heidi Klum's Halloween. Yeah, enough of this. Happy Halloween, everybody. Or Happy Special Characters Day, as some people rather call it. What else we got? Close that out the way. It was blocking my the brick lady goes to jail. Oh, we gotta talk about these layoffs. We definitely gotta talk about the layoffs. It's a lot of Trump talk to talk about. Al Sharpton is a Fed. Adrian Peterson went to jail. Rest in peace. Nick Mango. Oh, Mackenzie Scott. That's what we're finna talk about next. But first, goodness gracious. Camron suing J. Cole. Drake got bots. Damn, y'all. I know, man. It's just, I got to start doing the show every day. It's hard with some of all these topics that happens damn that daily. So Camron, man. Camron suing J. Cole. I really want on this. I didn't really even think. But unfortunately, got it down. Let's go between two topics. One of my favorite raps that day. Killer Cam and German J. Cole. So what's up, baby Drew? Big baby Drew. Yeah, that's what's going on with Killer Cam and J. Cole. We're gonna actually pull up a video real quick and watch this video. Somebody saying that these boys is gonna be battling in court. Well, Camron is suing him because he collabed on the Might Delete Later album, Ready 24, and he felt like he wasn't compensated for collabing on the album, right? J. Cole said that he would either do a feature for feature or appear on Camron's podcast, and he ain't do neither one of them. And Cam said he wasn't getting paid for the song being out. I thought they took the song. Thought they took the album off of platforms, to tell you the truth. So I don't know, man. Is Cam going too far by suing? What y'all think, man? Let's check out Rob Martman explain a little bit further on what's going on between Camron and J. Cole.
All right, hip hop has another lawsuit. According to TMZ, Camron is suing J. Cole, and it all stems from their collaboration, I'm Ready 24. That was off of Cole's Might Delete Later project, all right? It samples Diplomat's I'm Ready, and Cam actually has a verse on this version. Basically, Cam is claiming that in exchange for being on I'm Ready 24, him and Cole had agreed that Cole would either give Cam a feature or appear on his podcast. It is what it is. Neither has happened, so Cam is taking it to the courts, and he's looking for a full accounting of the song. He believes that the song in total made around $500,000, and he's looking for his proper share. First and foremost, I believe that you gotta honor your commitments, all right? Cam appeared on Cole's Might Delete Later. We all heard the verse, so now Cole has to hold his end of the bargain up. But I do have questions. What kind of agreement was this? Was it a contract? Was it a combo? Was it a phone combo? Was it a text? Was it a handshake? That matters, right? Because you got to ask yourself, is there any room for misinterpretation, right? If there's a contract, there's less room for misinterpretation, right? If it was just a handshake agreement, then there's more room for misinterpretation. Was the exchange clearly defined and understood? You got to ask yourself, either a feature or a podcast appearance seems like a little undefined, right? So we just want to know in what manner did they make this agreement and make sure that both parties understood. Also, was there a clear timeline defined on when this had to be fulfilled? We don't know. Now, after Like That comes out and after 7 Minute Drill comes out and then Cole has his moment on the Dreamville stage, kind of see why Cole might not want to do a podcast, right? If you know Cole doesn't do very many podcast appearances anyway, and strategically it probably makes less sense for him to do so after the whole Kendrick Lamar, Drake, J. Cole thing that happened last year. Now, you assume he could do a feature. I mean, he's done a few, right? He's done the Thames record. He's done a record with Cash Cobain. He's done something with Future and Metro Boomin. He's done some solo records of his own, like Clouds. But again, we don't have all the information. What kind of song did Cam send him to put a verse on so that he can send back? We don't know yet. At the end of the day, at least from this TMZ article, it seems that Cam's tried. He's exhausted his options, and he's at his last resort, and he's just handling his business at the end of the day. But I think there's more to this story, man. So I'm gonna watch this one, man. We're gonna see what comes out of this. But I think this gets resolved one way or another. Nobody wants to take this to court. This seems like an easy one to fix. All right, hip hop has another.
You suing J. Cole? Cause I got questions about that. Okay. Well, J. Cole, that's the prodigal son from North Carolina. Why are you suing J. Cole, my nigga? He don't bother nobody. All right, you don't want to answer. Okay. All right, well, we'll just answer this. He's on his way of being a rap legend. That don't make you just want to be like, nah, you know what? Let bygones be bygones, or whatever the case may be. TMZ is right that you suing him.
I think J. Cole is definitely going to be a rap legend. 100%, definitely.
Then you don't get a pass? All right, man. Y'all see? I be trying. You suing J. Cole?
Yeah, so for a lot of folks, it's a new hip hop. It's a new era. But I don't blame him for being about his money. It makes sense. It makes sense. People got to honor the agreement. They got to do what they say they're going to do. So, I ain't going to say I get it, but I get it. You got to get your money. 50 Cent crashed the whole show over a picture. Remember the famous what season, little nigga? What season 5, little nigga? 50 Cent, man, you diabolical mother sucker, you. You diabolical mother sucker, you. So BMF is canceled after 4 seasons. I didn't even really watch season 4. I don't know if I even got past season 2, to tell you the truth. Season 3 and 4 probably lost me. And 50 Cent might be the pettiest motherfucker alive. Silky Johnson move over. 50 Cent might be the pettiest motherfucker alive. So yeah, these are not my posts, man. I'm just these are just clips that I pulled to the side. BMF canceled, man. It was a good show for a couple of months, man. A couple of years. I thought it was gonna be all right. Want to see, the story develop. I don't even know where it left off at. I can't tell y'all if they got to the giraffes at the strip club, part. Maybe I may watch season 4, but it was one of them shows that couldn't go on forever anyway. So it had to at least eventually come to an end. All right, so we've been going on for about an hour and a half. All right, so Drake out here with the bots, man. Drake out here with the bullshit, man.
The song randomly premieres on arguably his worst song of all time.
So I'm gonna watch this video. So RBX is suing Spotify. So since everybody's suing somebody, RBX is suing Spotify and using Drake as an example for his case. Veteran rapper RBX, known as Eric Collins, and he's also Snoop Dogg's cousin. You know, just a tidbit. Filed a case action lawsuit in California federal court November 2nd, accused Spotify of ignoring bot-driven fake streams since 2022. This anomaly intrigues 37 billion streams. 30 billion such mass excessive Spotify denies from fraud and states plays every year. And it was time was ready. I'm doing button. So what y'all got to say now? What you got to say now, Hammer? Whole time it was your man's out here doing the button. So let's see what they got to say, man. Let's see.
Less. This structure makes Drake's numbers central to the plaintiff's argument. If even the top artist on the platform has inflated streams.
Oh my God, this person really has a lisp, and they doing a video on YouTube. Come on, man, y'all can't be serious. I guess we finna laugh. I'll see how far we can get through this video.
Less. This structure makes Drake's numbers central to the plaintiff's argument. If even the top artist on the platform has inflated streams, it means the system itself is compromised and damages are widespread. But how did this complaint come about in the first place? And how were they able to describe streaming numbers attached to Drake's music with such specificity?
Oh my God, they're doing this shit on
Path
purpose.
to filing this lawsuit.
I can't. I gotta hold on. I gotta stop. They gotta put a DS on her on this person's video clip for me to get through it. I'm not finna do that. Nope, no sir. We finna watch this other one. We finna let this other dude break it down.
Arguably his worst song of all time with Yeet, which for some reason he actually ended up putting onto streaming platforms. And if you want to take a look at what botting looks like, I'm not saying he necessarily factually did use bots on this Yeet song, but it has some very suspicious charting activity. So the song is released on September 9th, 2025. It cracks the US Spotify charts, and pay attention to these numbers, all right? So September 9th, it comes in around 70 on the charts with around 400,000 streams. It doesn't make the global Spotify charts, meaning it didn't have enough streams to make like the main Spotify chart that has all the most streamed songs globally. But then 3 days later, the song randomly premieres on the global Spotify charts with 2.2 million streams. Remember how I told you the song came out 3 days before this, right? And it was getting around 400,000 streams on the US charts, meaning like in the US, it was streamed 400,000 times on the first day of its release on September 9th. Suddenly, on September 12th, it's getting 2.3 million streams globally the first day that it actually enters that chart. And on the US chart, it bumps up 46 spots to the 13th position with 900,000 streams that day. That's a 500,000 plus increase from its first day on the charts when it had around 400,000. That's very suspicious off the rip, because usually a song in its first day will get the most amount of streams and then it slowly starts trickling down. But hey, maybe people didn't know about this song. It was just randomly premiered. Maybe it took a couple days to gain some traction, right? We'll give Drake the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what it does the next day, because surely if it's gaining that momentum and all of a sudden it just makes its random debut 3 days after its release onto the charts, then surely it's going to start to rise, or at least stay around the same numbers, right? Well, keep in mind again, September 12th, it comes on randomly onto the global Spotify charts for its first day, 3 days after it was actually released, with 2.3 million streams at number 43 on the charts. The next day, take a look at how far it dropped.
Maybe you can't see it, but it says it dropped
It dropped 107 spots and only got 1.3 million streams.
So yeah, so it dropped practically a whole million streams.
That's 1 million streams less than it had the day before. And the day before, it was already 3 days after its release. A song never just randomly gets a crap ton of streams on a random day and then suddenly drops a million streams in the following day. Are you following what I'm saying here? The drop is astronomical. It makes no sense. The next day, it completely falls off the charts. It's no longer on there. And the lowest song on the charts is Addison Rae's Diet Pepsi with around 1 million streams. That means that this Drake song had less than 1 million streams. So follow the numbers, right? The first 3 days of its release, this new song, it's not on the charts at all. One day, 3 days after its release, randomly, it pops up with 2.3 million streams. The next day, it falls over 100 spots on the charts and loses 1 million streams. And then the day after that, it falls off the charts completely and has 400,000 less streams than it did the day before. Do you see how suspicious this is? This is almost like his team plugged in a bunch of bots onto this song to see if it would, start gaining the traction if some more eyeballs were on it. But those bots didn't work, and so the song started organically falling off the charts at a rapid rate and losing an insane amount of streams. Probably because on the first day, those streams were not organic to begin with. Say what you want about Kendrick Lamar using bots, but we've never seen one of Kendrick's songs have a massive streaming day and then all of a sudden the next day it falls 100 positions and then just falls off the charts completely. What the hell is going on here? Is this Drake panicking?
All right. Definitely what goes around comes around is definitely coming around his way, and we will keep you guys abreast on what's going on with this lawsuit. Everybody's suing somebody. All right, so we're gonna get through the rest of the show by getting on Trump's behind. All right, man. So we done did Drake's bots, Camron suing, 50 Cent crashed the show. I got a whole bunch of stuff that y'all could be triggered by. Oh, NFL stuff, and then it's Trump. Okay, so on the good news first, right? This may trigger some folks, but this is actually good news. Guilty of second-degree murder for killing Sonia Massey. All right, this is a good justice served for Sonia Massey. If you don't remember, Sonia was the black woman who was murdered in her own home when the police came in and drew guns out on her, and she had a pot in her hand, I think maybe, and she rebuked them in the name of Jesus or something, and they shot her. I'm paraphrasing on what really happened, but either way, jury found this man guilty of second-degree murder of Sonia Massey. Former Sangamon County Deputy Sean Grayson was convicted of second-degree murder of the 36-year-old Sonia Massey. She called 911 to her home for help, and within moments of them arriving, Grayson shot her. Now, I don't have to basically go back in time and revisit the actual video, but I just want to say congratulations to everybody that fought for Sonia Massey's justice, her family. Also thoughts and prayers to y'all because, it's not really a real congratulations, but at least justice was served at the very least. And yeah, sometimes I'm not that great at words, but y'all know what I mean. Justice was served. We don't know what type of sentence this man is going to get. Hopefully it's a righteous one. And I say second degree, he probably going to get 10. He probably going to get 10. Maybe 15, do 10. Maybe 10, do 5. I hope not 10 through 5 because that'd be. Anyway, at least we got something, right? Okay. The ceasefire is over already. Or was it ever a ceasefire? Israeli strikes overnight in Gaza have killed at least 60 people, including many children. This was just on the 29th of October. So, yeah, ceasefire. What ceasefire? Israeli military, it says ceasefire is back on as death toll from Gaza strikes reaches 104. So they sent bombs and said, all right, ceasefire back on. Israeli military said Wednesday that the ceasefire was back on in Gaza after it carried out heavy airstrikes overnight across the Palestinian territory that killed over 104 people, or about 104 people, including 66 women and children. The strikes, the deadliest since the ceasefire began October 10th, marked the most serious challenge to tenuous truce tenuous truce to date. This is terrible. I'm sorry about that image right there, but that's real. That's real life for those people over there. A baby bottle with blood and stuff on it. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. $253 people were also wounded.
WordPress.com.
Oh my God. Israel's military said Wednesday the ceasefire was back on. I mean,
the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas appears to have been restored after a brief but deadly round of fighting in the Gaza Strip. Israel began striking Gaza late Tuesday after accusing Hamas of violating the ceasefire. It says that Hamas militants killed an Israeli soldier in southern Gaza. Palestinian health officials reported over 100 deaths. That included dozens of women and children. Israel, of course, says it was targeting only Hamas targets. Early Wednesday, Israel announced a halt to the bombing. It said that the ceasefire was back on track. Much of this appears to be the work of the United States. President Donald Trump has been the key mediator, the key broker and guarantor of this deal. The situation does remain fragile. There is deep distrust, and this ceasefire is only 2 weeks old. It's in its early stages. Israel carried out another airstrike late Wednesday after the ceasefire had been restored. It says it was targeting a Hamas weapons site. However, Palestinian health officials did report 2 deaths in this late Israeli attack.
So yeah, they literally doing the ceasefire like how we used to do tackle loco or baseball or football in the streets as a kid. Game on, game off with the ceasefire. It's terrible. Yeah, the way my mind be working, I always have like it's always like a clip that be playing in my brain. So I be wanting to bring up the clip, but then I be thinking in my mind, like, is it appropriate? Oh, fuck it. If I could find the clip, I could find it.
We've got to take this global.
That's right. If I could find the clip, I'm going to get away with it. I'm going to find it. If I could get away with finding the clip, I'm going to play it. It looked like Facebook done kicked us off.
Okay, game on.
This is how I interpret the U.S., Israel, and the Palestinian ceasefire.
Okay, game on.
Yo.
Game on. Game on. He shoots, he scores! Oh. 1 for 1!
Guy's going wild!
Score! Game on!
Game on!
Okay, let's go. Okay. Worsley cuts down the angle. Gretzky shoots!
Oh, Gretzky is denied!
Oh.
Choked in the open net! Wayne?
Yeah?
Do you ever get the feeling that Benjamin's not one of us?
Good call. It's as if Benjamin wants us to be liked by everyone. I mean, Led Zeppelin didn't write tunes that everyone liked. They left that to the Bee Gees.
I know, man. I'm stupid. That's basically what I think about when they keep saying that they're having a ceasefire. A ceasefire? Oh, my God. All right, man. So we're going to close this show out by talking about Donald Trump on 60 Minutes. Trump talk on 60 Minutes, man. Actually, it was so much Trump talk that I possibly could be talking about. It's just hard to just pick out any one of them. But we just gonna go throughout a lot of these clips. Let's start with the government shutdown. Let's do it.
Don't let the government fool you. This is a Republican-led shutdown, and let me explain why. The Republicans actually have a majority in both the House and the Senate. Admittedly, in the Senate, they actually need 60 votes to pass this legislation in order to fund the government, and they need 7 Democrats to vote for the legislation. Now, this legislation would pass normally as if any other legislation would. However, there are important subsidies for the Affordable Care Act that actually make healthcare affordable for Americans, not illegal immigrants. I'll get more on that in a second. And should the subsidies expire, Americans' healthcare costs will skyrocket significantly. And yes, that includes your healthcare costs as well. So, all Democrats have asked for is simple: extending the subsidies for the Affordable Care Act so Americans can actually pay for their health care. Now, unfortunately, Republicans have blown this out of proportion and said that Democrats want to fund free health care for illegal immigrants. That's just simply not true. The Affordable Care Act's benefits only benefit Americans and illegal immigrants only. Illegal immigrants are not eligible for any of the benefits for the Affordable Care Act. And no, they are not getting free healthcare. There's no such thing as free healthcare in America. In short, this government shutdown could end very easily with Republicans actually meeting Democrats in the middle about some legislation that will help all Americans, and no free healthcare for illegal immigrants. And now, thanks to Republican incompetence, Americans are at risk of losing their SNAP benefits that keep their food on the table.
You're listening to Doja Told Ya Radio.
Okay, let's see what What's happening in America? Let's see what $4.3 trillion really looks like when each party gets their hands on it. This video will demonstrate the governing philosophies of each party. Behind me, I have 2 pyramids, each with 86 cups. Every cup represents $500 million, and together, that's $4.3 trillion. Let's start with this pyramid. The big, beautiful bill pyramid. It's $4.3 trillion tower of tax cuts overwhelmingly benefiting the wealthy. How do they sell it? The same old way always. Those white cups on the bottom, that's the lure. $200 billion on no tax on tips promise. Classic misdirection. They dangle something that sounds like it's helping working people, but you know, you never got your Doge dividend and you're still paying taxes on Social Security. The oligarchs are laughing all the way to the bank while America gets a $4.3 trillion deficit. Now let's look at the other pyramid. Same $4.3 trillion, but this time invested in stuff we need. The light blue cups on the bottom, Infrastructure Act, roads, bridges, creating 875,000 jobs this year alone. They voted no. The yellow cups, Inflation Reduction Act, lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, expanding clean energy. They voted no. What's happening in America? Let's see what $4.3 trillion really looks like when each party gets their hands on it. This video will demonstrate the governing philosophies of each party. Behind me, I have 2 pyramids, each with 86 cups. Every cup represents $500 million, and together, that's $4.3 trillion. Let's start with this pyramid. The big, beautiful bill pyramid. It's $4.3 trillion tower of tax cuts overwhelmingly benefiting the wealthy. How do they sell it? The same old way always. Those white cups on the bottom, that's the lure. $200 billion on no tax on tips promise. Classic misdirection. They dangle something that sounds like it's helping working people, but you know, you never got your Doge dividend and you're still paying taxes on Social Security. The oligarchs are laughing all the way to the bank while America gets a $4.3 trillion deficit. Now let's look at the other pyramid. Same $4.3 trillion, but this time invested in stuff we need. The light blue cups on the bottom, Infrastructure Act, roads, bridges, creating 875,000 jobs this year alone. They voted no. The yellow cups, Inflation Reduction Act, lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, expanding clean energy. They voted no. The black cups, Chips and Science Act, keeping America competitive in semiconductors. Another no vote. And the green cups, unbelievably, the PACT Act, healthcare for veterans exposed to burn pits. 84% of them voted no before it went to the Senate. Always for the same reason. We can't afford it. How are we going to pay for it when it's sunset? Yet somehow, they always manage to find room for a $4.3 trillion tax cut. And this is where the rubber meets the road. The shutdown is over the last two sets of cups. These gold cups right here represent $1 trillion in Medicaid cuts from this bill. The $1 trillion gold cups have been moved over here, given a $1 trillion tax break to corporations. The blue cups, the affordable health care tax credits, lifelines for millions and millions of Americans, especially in red states. And let's face it, the Democrats offered a resolution to keep the government open if the Republicans would lay off these two cups. They refused, because they've already handed those cups to the corporations and the wealthiest Americans. They're simply lying to cover up the fact that they stole the cups and put them over here. Two pyramids, completely different philosophies, one that fights for working families and the other protecting the top 1%. It's not politics, it's math. And if you're so confident that I'm wrong because of your emails and comments, I can tell that I'm chasing you down with the truth. And you're running out of real estate. America, if you're with me, type in the comments, please, enough is enough. I would appreciate your follow so this information can move across social media to combat this ridiculous propaganda. Cups talk and bullshit walks. I hope you learned something. I'm always rooting for you.
All right, sorry about that, people. Where were we? Let's just keep this clips going.
Who's out of the house is actually evicted from the house because there are people who are going to pay more for rent. And then what happens is 20 people move into a 3-bedroom house. 20 people from a totally different culture, totally different ways of interacting. Again, we can respect their dignity while also being angry at the Biden administration for letting that situation happen and recognizing that their next door neighbors are going to say, well, wait a second, what is going on here? I don't know these people. They don't speak the same language that I do. And because there are 20 in the house next door, it's a little bit rowdier than it was when there was just a family of 4, a family of 5. It is totally reasonable and acceptable for American citizens to look at their next door neighbors and say, I want to live next to people who I have something in common with. I don't want to live next to 4 families of strangers. And the fact that we had who's out of the house is actually evicted from the house because there are people who are going to pay more for rent. And then
I don't know, man. Every time this motherfucker even talk, I kind of just blank out and just be like, just evil man. It just be like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, evil man. You know what I'm saying? You know, the mascara around the eyes, eyeliner, whatever you got going on, man. Just his whole demeanor is just like bullshit. He just reeks of bullshit, and it's not even manure. It's stinker than that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, evil man. Like, what the fuck? I don't even know why. I don't even know what that clip meant. Like, what was that clip even for? I don't know. It was just JD Vance saying some evil stuff. Even every time he talk, I can't even try to process what he's saying. All I just think about, I think it's the eyeliner. I just be looking at his face like, evil man.
There are years worth of funding available for the SNAP program, our tax dollars that we have already paid to the federal government to facilitate this program, and the Trump administration deleted this language from the website this morning. They are hiding the fact that not only is there more than enough funding to pay these benefits that we have already paid our tax dollars into, but that there was contingency language to ensure that even in the event of a government shutdown, that SNAP would go uninterrupted. The Trump administration and the Republicans supporting him are using food as a political weapon. This is a choice. They chose to delete this language. They are choosing to force children to go hungry. We will not stand for that choice, and I encourage a yes vote.
So yeah, I just wanted to just give before we get up out of here, we're not gonna really be able to get into a full Trump rant. I went on the first part of this podcast. I went on a full rant on Nick Fuentes, and I don't know if I could, continue to do that for this guy. But yeah, most Americans say that the country is on the wrong track, and they blame Trump for inflation. That's just the bottom line. And the country and Americans spoke through their vote. And it's just getting started. The midterms, so from now until a year from now, the midterm campaign begins. So get used to it. Get used to it. 2/3 of Americans say the country is pretty seriously off on the wrong track, while just under a third of the country is say that we're moving in the right direction. Disapproval ratings are very low. Disapproval ratings are very low. Oh, Nicki Minaj disapproval ratings are very low as well. That's what I didn't talk about. Nicki Minaj and her caping for Trump, and then everybody getting her the fuck up out of here. I'm sorry, and I don't really even got it in me to even talk about it no more. But just know that Nicki Minaj has lost over 100,000 followers in the past 24 hours since she's come out as MAGA Barbie, and that I ain't gonna do my baby like that. I still love her. I still love her, but goddamn, what the hell? What in the hell? What the fuck? Anyway, I ain't gonna do it, but she's definitely tripping. She followed 13 more MAGA accounts that promote racism, misogyny, child marriage, homophobia, genital mutilation, abortion ban, and other horrible activities. Them folks just mad with Nicki Minaj, man, right now. Them folks is mad with Nicki. Hold on. I was in a rush. I'm live right now, and I was trying to handle some business. I kind of felt like that was you. Yeah, I'm live right now. It was election day yesterday, and I had to come in and talk to the people, man. I didn't vote, so I had to come in and do a little something. I didn't vote either. Who were you supposed to vote for yesterday? The mayor of Atlanta won, actually, and if you stayed in Cobb County, there was a black mayor running for Marietta. Anyway, we good. We in Atlanta, but at the same time, I'm about to go downstairs.
Even though Trump has been back in office for almost a year.
Yeah, I know you. So you about to start your session?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'll come down the vibe. Can't wait. Yeah. Get it together, girl.
O'Donnell asked about cost of living challenges and plans to change health care. Now, Trump brought up Biden more than 40 times during the 90-minute interview, even though Trump has been back in office for almost a year. Trump seemingly had very little to say when O'Donnell asked about cost of living challenges and plans to change health care. Now, Trump brought up Biden.
That's all he ever do is bring up Biden or Obama or just try to scapegoat some shit. It was real hard trying to watch that 60-minute. So the controversy is that they only showed 20 minutes of the interview, but it was 73 minutes long. And there was a couple of things in the interview. For one, we just gonna skip to the important parts. Trump don't know who the hell he pardoned. He pardoned the Asian dude who was the CEO of Binance, who went to jail for fraud and was funding or helping terrorist organizations get funded. Anyway, he pardoned that dude, and then when he was asked who the dude was, he said, I don't know who the fuck. He said, I don't know who he is. Binance. Hold on, man. Let me pull it up. Trying to say, hey, man, I don't know who the fuck this dude is.
Today you pardoned the founder of Binance. Can you explain why you chose to pardon him, and did it have anything to do with his involvement in your
Which one?
family's?
Who is that?
The founder of Binance. He has an involvement in your own
The
family's
recent
crypto
one, yes.
business.
I believe we're talking about the same person because I do pardon a lot of people. I don't know. He was recommended by a lot of people. A lot of people say that. Are you talking about the crypto person? A lot of people say that he wasn't guilty of anything.
Why did you pardon him?
Okay, are you ready? I don't know who he is. I know he got a 4-month sentence or something like that, and I heard it was a Biden witch hunt. Well, here's the thing. I know nothing about it because I'm too busy doing the other.
But he got a
only
pardon.
tell you that.
But he got a
no,
pardon.
I can only tell you this. My sons are into it. I'm glad they are because it's probably a great industry, crypto.
So basically, that man giving out pardons to anybody his son them say do it, and they trading the pardons for money. You know what I'm saying? They just get out there getting rich. They just here to scam the entire country and to put they family and anybody associated to their family in position for the rest of eons, for the rest of life existence. So yeah, folks was making a big deal about that. They were, it's corruption. It is what it is. This is basically everything in a nutshell, man. I don't know how many different ways I gotta try to spell it out for y'all, but I love this headline right here. It says, America had a black president, then came the white lash. You know what I'm saying? We can't call it backlash or blacklash. We got to call it white lash. I love this headline right here. Because they can't seem to let it go. Can't seem to let go of the anger that Obama's presidency has brought to the people, to the citizens of this country. Anyway, I am dragging and I'm ranting and I'm about to get out of here. But I just want to fact check. I want to talk about the 60 Minutes interview. I want to talk about the fact checking it. See if I can find somebody that talked about it for a quick second, and then we're going to talk about the fact check, and then we're going to go ahead and get on up out of here, y'all. Because I done had y'all for long enough. I done had y'all here for long enough. That man was up there bullshitting the whole time.
Let's now call for an FCC probe into 60 Minutes after they reportedly heavily edited the video interview, removing a lot of damning statements about corruption that this dipshit said on camera. Yeah, The one that accused Kamala Harris of all this sat down for a 90-minute interview where they aired 28 minutes of it. The full transcript was later released, and a 73-minute version, which still leaves an awful lot of time clipped on the floor. A great deal of the footage was cut, including all the damning stuff he said about CZ buying himself a $2 billion pardon for all of his crypto crimes. Some of the footage cut was when O'Donnell said, "So, not concerned about the appearance of corruption with this?" And Trump stammered off with a mumbling, bumbling answer. Trump sued 60 Minutes and CBS for this exact same thing. Actually, not even close to as bad as this. I mean, 62 minutes of a 90-minute interview snipped out of there, it's not the same thing. Apples and oranges. This is much, much, much worse. And the stuff that they clipped out is so freaking damning. Needs investigations of their own. Quid pro quo? The guy's auto-penning pardons. He doesn't even know who these people are. Doesn't look good. Hopefully his base will finally start waking up to this bullshit that he keeps shoveling at us, expecting us to believe it. Share your thoughts in the comment section and follow me for more.
All right, in white supremacy. I fuck with your TikTok. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go follow him right now. NYT supremacy. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's a TikTok that you gotta follow, that you should be following. Definitely. All right, so and now let's fact check real quick before we get up out of here. Let's just read a quick list of a fact check of the president's 60-minute interview. Okay?
What this fight is really about, because it isn't actually over whether to provide healthcare to the undocumented who are already barred from Medicaid and the ACA exchanges. It mainly concerns subsidies for insurance premiums under the ACA, which are set to expire unless Congress extends them, which will result in dramatic price spikes for millions.
According to the Oregon Health Plan, here's how people's health insurance premiums will be affected if the enhanced premium tax credits are allowed to expire. A single person in Portland earning $35,000 a year could go from paying just over $1,000 a year to paying $2,600. And a very talented person earning $95,000 a year would go from paying $8,000 a year to more than $30,000.
Holy shit, that is ridiculous. I don't usually expect to see prices rise that sharp anything except for maybe streaming service. But I'm told that in exactly one of those instances, it's actually totally fine. It's normal, and it still constitutes a real bargain. The point is, many Americans might have to pay a lot more for health insurance starting January 1st. And for some, these price increases could be catastrophic.
I'll tell you what's catastrophic. The fact that we're going into the holiday season and Amazon, UPS, hell, everybody, all the corporations is just laying off thousands and thousands of workers. Paramount laid off 1,000 workers. Amazon laid off 30,000. Amazon. Like, how you gonna have Amazon Prime and off 30,000 people? Make it make sense. When y'all got the money, y'all go up on y'all subscriptions, but then y'all lay off a whole bunch of people. Jeff Bezos have a $50 million wedding. And just pretty much just burn money, buy a whole Italian city, shut it down, but now he laying off 30,000 people. They got the money. They just don't want you to have the money, or they don't want us to have the money. Microsoft, they laying off 25,000 people. Intel, 25,000 people. Target, 1,800 people. Meta, 3,600 people. Rivian, 600 people. UPS, 20,000 people. CSL, 12,000 people. Nissan, 11,000 people. Salesforce, 4,000. We're on our 36th day of a government shutdown. Maybe 37 at this point. I may be losing count. The biggest shutdown since the last time Donald Trump was in office. And I still have to preach, plead, and do all of this to try to keep folks informed, woke, and come up with some type of game plan on how we can fight back. But at least we got to know the information first, right? So it's gonna be one hell of a holiday season. It's gonna be one hell of a holiday season. They say Mariah Carey is in the commercial, and yeah. So let me see if I can find a damn video I seen earlier. This girl say, "Man, they must know that we finna boycott Sephora. Mariah Carey is in the new Sephora commercial, and." Yeah. Them folks saying that it ain't gonna be no holiday season this year. You could cancel Christmas. Mariah Carey just did this weird Sephora ad, and the people ain't going for it. The people ain't going. So let's check it out. I know it never stops. It never stops. There's always something to talk about.
But now it's time. Spill the tea. Who's the thief?
Busted! Bad news, Mariah Carey. The elves are striking this year. Elf revenge for putting us through holiday hell. Santa's helper quit. I'm pawning all this so I can afford elf therapy.
That's my blush, elf boy.
Your lipstick? I'm taking it. Christmas, it's canceled. No bells, no cheer, no glam. Bye, sweetie.
You can't cancel Christmas.
Any last words?
Yeah.
Oh, let me cut that down.
Oh, and a suit.
All right, so yeah, because they're gonna get me for that. They're gonna try to cut me down for that. They're gonna try to cut me down just for that one little line. Because y'all know that Mariah Carey owned Christmas as far as the music goes. So some folks were taken back from that commercial.
Her Christmas video and people are upset at Mariah Carey for selling out for her Christmas video and doing an entire ad for Sephora.
Halloween slate, but now it's
And as everyone on TikTok probably knows by now, Mariah Carey drops a Christmas video right after Halloween every single year. As you can see, 2 years ago, 135 million views. Last year, 56. And this year's is only 3 days old and already 113 million views. And usually people are very excited, but this time Mariah Carey decided to make this an entire Sephora ad, a company that people have already been boycotting. Within the first 5 seconds, you already started seeing Sephora bags. And this is why comments like this are saying now they are going to be going to other makeup companies because they do not support Sephora.
All right, so I mean, it's always something. But so many people, bro, these folks, they just paid and they tone deaf. They don't know, like, they just paid and they ain't got to deal with the bullshit that we got to deal with. And so they don't be knowing no better. And I'm not trying to throw no bell, but yeah, these folks, Hold on, man. I want to hear more. I want to hear from a black woman on what she feel about tone deafness. And that's what it is. If folks be tone deaf. That's just basically what it is, the basics. All right, so
The one thing that stood out to me the most in the Mariah Carey ad with Sephora that is causing all of this controversy, which I'm in the process of editing my YouTube video on, and I will probably have it uploaded tonight. But anyways, in the ads, Mariah Carey is essentially saying you can't cancel Christmas. And people are responding very negatively to it because of the current economic crisis that we find ourselves in as a country and how people are boycotting and how it is tone deaf. And while all those things are true, Mariah Carey was absolutely correct in saying you cannot cancel Christmas, because in America, regardless of how bad the financial climate, how bad the financial situation is, we are a country that subsists on credit, where people think nothing of putting anything on a credit card, and millions of Americans go into debt over Christmas. Here's the thing though, two things. One, Sephora's target demographic is young women between the ages of 24 and 35 who are either middle class or upper middle class. I cannot read all of the comments. However, looking at the people who have made videos about boycotting Sephora, how out of touch it is, how tone deaf it is, etc., they are not Sephora's target demographic or core audience. Sephora right now is having their savings event. It ends either the 10th or the 11th of November. And even in spite of the economic crisis we find ourselves in, there are people who are always going to make money for the small things, for skincare, for beauty, etc. Also, not everyone is struggling, and we all exist in our echo chambers on the internet. So if you are in a very specific demographic or living in an area, or the people and the content you are interacting with are people who are struggling, that's what your feed is going to feed you. However, that's not the case for everyone. So I would be really curious to see how Sephora makes out when it comes to their savings event. I wonder what the revenue is going to be like. And B, we live in an era where people are aware, this is marketing. Marketing is $1 billion industry. Sephora is aware of what is happening in this current climate. They could have pivoted at any moment. However, even bad publicity, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Negative publicity is still attention. And nowadays, we are all aware that attention is currency. Even if you found the commercial tone deaf and out of touch, like an elf saying he was going to be pawning makeup and beauty products to afford therapy, not very timely. The thing is, there is all this talk about boycott. However, you can't cancel Christmas in America because this country runs on capitalism. So it will be very interesting to see Sephora's bottom line after the holiday season. The one thing that's
absolutely. And boy, they can't cancel Christmas, but they trying to cancel my show by turning off the lights on me. And boy, trying to turn off the lights. All right, so want to get on up out of here, man, and not forget to say rest in peace to Nick Mangold. Nick Mangold. Also joining us is Baby G and DJ DOZHATOLDYA.COM. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Pisces. The Pisces Parade is here on Doja Told Podcast. Yeah. One more time then. Clap. Round of applause. Oh yeah, you actually read it too. That's why she said it, because she was reading it. That's amazing. That's actually quite amazing. Quite amazing. A lot of people don't know how to read that. Rest in peace, Nick Mangold, man. Jets Hall of Fame offensive lineman, passed away, and I ain't gonna lie, man. I read this story and it made me cry. Real talk. Just because y'all know we've been following NFL players that have been passing away before their time. And to know, basically to watch these guys play, to know that they pretty much had the world with, with the fortunes that come with the NFL. And then before they're able to really enjoy the fruits of their labor, they pass away. It bothered me, man. In fact, it bothered me with Nick Mangold's case is because he needed a kidney? He couldn't even find a kidney, and so it's like, damn, he got it all. But even when you have it all, you cannot have enough. And it's just a reminder, man, that life is short. And you just got to be appreciative and have gratitude for every day of being here. I'll let Jason Kelsey break it down. But yeah, man, rest in peace to Hall of Fame offensive lineman and great guy, Nick Mangold.
You're putting out the message, but also, keeping all of us going. You never know who is watching the yak and how it affects them. And, it's been a blessing for me being able to put you guys on every day while I'm sitting there and hearing you guys yak it up. So it's something that I think gets lost a little bit, in the mundane of what you guys do every day. But for a lot of us, it really is a great pleasure. So I appreciate all you guys do.
I love it.
You're the fucking man.
And
You're welcome.
You ready to clap, 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 clap. Not just yet, not just yet, not just yet. We got to watch one more video. It's probably going to make me sad again. Make me sad
Nick
again.
Mangold passing. He's been struggling with the genetic disorder and needed a new kidney. And you want to talk about one of the stalwart, best offensive linemen to ever play the game.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people come up and tell me, you're the best center to ever play. I get that from other people. And it's hard to receive that because I know in my heart that Nick Mangold at his best was 10 times a player than I ever was. I could never be that dominant at the center position. Nick was phenomenal. He was unbelievable in pass protection. He was an unbelievably smart leader and getting those guys on the same page. And he would murder people in the run game. He was unbelievable when he was in the NFL. He was unbelievable at Ohio State.
Yeah, he was.
It's just a travesty that's happened at such a young age. He's got a whole family. When you think about offensive linemen over the past 2 decades, the best of the best, you don't look any further than Nick Mangold. Obviously, it's been talked.
Rest in peace, Nick Mangold. Again, great American hero, man. Jets legend and NFL Hall of Famer, man. Rest in peace. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of the Doja Toja Podcast 164. I think we're just going to be doing weekly episodes all week because there's just so much every week to talk about and so much that we miss. So I just want to make sure that, we cover all the information that we possibly can and make sure everybody's informed, make sure everybody is fulfilled, make sure we listen to some great music, talk about Black history, we talk about American history, we celebrate good people. It's not just about, of course, I am a Black culture leaning podcast, but it's not about that. It's about information and it's about progress, man. It's about unity, man. So 3 hours, man. We've been going 3 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it short, man. But we'll be back later on this week with more. Make sure you follow us on all platforms at Doja Toja Radio on Mixler app, Doja Toja, DOZHATOLDYA on IG, Facebook, and YouTube, and Twitch. And if you would like to give a contribution, there's the Cash App, Doja Toja Radio on Cash App. Once again, this is the Doja Toja Podcast 164. And I'll see y'all next time. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Dame Doja. If you're looking to get your interview done or be a guest host on our podcast, hit us up at DOZHATOLDYA.COM. Bump what you heard. Remember who told you? It's Doja Told You.